One, two, one, two, one, two. Sean B. Stoller, I'm in the building. Huh? You know, I was just thinking, right? I had a couple of, you know, things I was thinking about that's been kind of like eating at me, right? It would just been a few things been getting at me. It really just been mentally, I've been kind of massaging this. And what it is that, you know how you can build yourself up. You know what I mean? You done went through the dark parts of your life. You done went through, just dealing with a whole bunch of issues, self-inflicting wounds. You know what I'm saying? You may have you had kids a little earlier than you really wanted to, but it happened. Life's happened. You may have had career changes. You may, you know, had more relationships than you truly really wanted to, but that's how life goes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's how life is. It's like it's not something, you have this idea in your head of how you want things to go, but it just doesn't plan out that way. It doesn't pan out that way, right? And so you go through those steps, right? You go through your journey in life and you finally get to a point where you like, man, I made it. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? I just been through all these different things, right? And you finally get to a level. You may have bought you a nice house, nice car, you may have got married, have kids. Like you really doing the thing, right? And the thing that really trips me out about that setting, right? The things that trip me out more than anything is that, especially when it comes to your children, anybody with kids, you gonna know what I mean when I say this, if you ever thought about it in this way, right? And the thing of it is that what I think about is that look how you can build yourself up, right? You can build yourself up where you got everything laid out. You got everything laid out for yourself. You got everything laid out for the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And the thing of it is that what happens when you build yourself up and the people that's close to you, the people that's around you know what I'm saying? Your kids, your wife, whoever, right? Your family, your loved ones, whoever. What happens when, you get older, you can't move like you used to, but your life is already set up. Your life is already, you know what I mean? You're set for the rest of your life, basically. You know what I'm saying? Financially, because of all that work you put in. You may got your 401k coming in, huh? You got your pension coming in. Your investments, your stocks is coming in, right? And let alone if you had your own side business, you know what I'm saying? You was some type of creator, or where it's either a content creator or you was you had your own laundry business, whatever, right? It's just giving you that example, right? So for you and your loved ones, your kids, your wife, whoever, from a guy perspective, I'm thinking, what happens when you set everybody up, and then when you get weak, when you get older and you can't move like you used to, what happens when your offspring, what happens when your family members, your close associates that that's beneficial for you, that you feel that's beneficial for you, what happens when you expect them to continue the legacy that you built? What happens when their legacy is not the same as yours? Meaning, you got this big house, maybe they don't want a big house, right? Yeah, they understand the value, they understand that, but some people, for me personally, I had to deal with this with my own grandmother. You know what I'm saying? My own grandmother, was a very strong woman. You know what I'm saying? She bought a house in the late 60s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe earlier than that. I take it, yeah, well, I'll say the early 60s. She bought a house out here in the Bay Area in the early 60s where in that time frame they expected her, the husband, the one would be the one that controlled the finances in the sense of who's working in the house. And her situation, she was the bread maker and she was divorced. So the realtor and the people she was going through to get the house that she stayed in there for over 30 years, they was telling her that, oh, where's your husband at? She was like, well, I don't have one, but I have a good job. I have the down payment, right? So I'm gonna cut a whole long story short in that situation, just to say that she eventually got the house, right? She raised her kids, my dad, you know what I'm saying, and her other children in that same house, right? Okay. And what happened was later on, unfortunately, as she got older, her kids, they were left the house, right? But what happens when your children, the dream that you done built up for yourself, for your family, when that dream is not their dream? You feel me? See, a lot of people don't talk about these type of situations. And just like with my grandmother, once she passed away, the savings she had, somehow that disappeared. The house, they had a reverse mortgage on the house. Nobody was making payments on it. So they end up losing the house, which was in a prime location in the Bay Area. It was like right next to the El Cerrito BART station. So they lost the house in a prime location of the Bay because of their own selfishness, because nobody could figure out who want to stay there and how they're going to split the bills. And so eventually nobody paid for anything, but everybody wanted everything. You feel me? So I'm saying that to say this: what happens when you create a dream for yourself, for your family? You feel me? And when you no longer here, that vision that you had is not their vision. That hustle mentality that you had, even though you instilled this into your kids, even if then repeatedly try to get your family to get that understanding, and they may know these things, but it's just they don't have that same drive that you had to get the things that you left to your loved ones. What happens in that situation? So that means, in the way I take it in my mind, when that situation happens, it's like everything you built was for who? You feel me? It's like it's like you can set up a play and have everything lined up for everybody. You can have everything lined up, and they don't see the vision, or their vision is something different. What do you do then? I appreciate the like. Yeah, this is a heavy conversation tonight. This that conversation most people are now not built for. And most people won't have this conversation with their kids. You feel me? And me, you know what I'm saying, being in my 40s, right? That's something I think about all the time. Cause it's like, I know, for me, my hustle mentality, I just, even if I get in a bad situation, I just feel like I'm gonna get out of it. Like, that's just my mentality. I don't stay in a negative world. You know what I'm saying? I don't stay in that negative space. I don't care what situation it is. I'm gonna deal with it and I'm gonna find a way to grind through it. You feel me? But what happens when you build up something, you leave it to your family, you leave it to your loved ones, and they don't respect it the same way that you went about to get it, so they can be in a better position, right? What happens then? That means that everything you built, what is it really worth? Because I mean, I know most people can, can look at this situation in their own life, right? You can look at it your own life. You know what I'm saying? Think about your loved ones who had property, had businesses. And once they pass away and the kids or the family take it over, do they still have that business? Or did they sell it to the highest builder, the highest bidder? You feel me? And then if you flip it, right? If you flip it and say, okay, are they wrong for selling it? Because remember, that was your dream, not theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's something real heavy that's been weighing on me because it's like, even for me, right? I've accomplished a few things. You know what I'm saying? Got a few things going, property and stuff like that, right? But it's like when I leave here, right? And even though I set up, I have things set up for my kids, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if they decide to sell everything, are they wrong? Because remember, that was something you had a vision for. This is something you grind and put yourself in position for. You know? I mean, I would like them to keep it, of course, absolutely. But at the end of the day, this was my dream, though. I think that's just a hard conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's a real difficult conversation to have and also, to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because you just got to really think about that, right? And really look at it for what it truly is. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like most people won't have that type of conversation, or you have it when it's too late. I feel like if you somebody that's around my age in your 40s, maybe even a little bit younger, but you already have property, you have businesses, it's important to have a will. It's important to have it, have stipulations in there on what you want people to do with your property when you either get too old to manage it and handle it, and or of course when you no longer here, when you pass. Like, I feel like it's very important once you start establishing assets. It's important for you to get documentation. That's where that will come in. You could need to have all that lined up so it won't be a confusion when it's time for your family, your kids, or whoever to have access to it. You feel me? And I just think not enough people have these conversations because you can find celebrities out there that didn't leave a will, and you see the family fighting over, who gets what, and now you got to get your local state, your local government involved in the sense of, getting certain things notarized, and you know what I mean? So it just becomes a big mess up. And then also now you got to deal with different taxes involved because if it wasn't a will, now the state want to take it over. And then now you got to pay the state certain taxes and so on. Each state it varies a little bit, but for the most part, that's why once you start accumulating assets, house, cars, property. I mean, it can be anything that has a great value to it. It's important, man. You got to get a will set up, have something where it can be documented and used as legal documents. You feel me? Some type of notary or something. You know what I mean? And I think not only is it important to have your finances, of course, but you need to also have what's after the finances. What happens if I'm no longer able to do these things? You feel me? What happens when I'm no longer around? Because I just feel like most people assume that their kids are going to take over the business. Most people assume the wife, is going to be able to maintain everything. But will they, or will she, or will he? Or do they even have that desire to want to do these things? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even for me growing up in the Bay Area, at one point in time, a lot of stores in my area was black owned. A lot of black people owned a lot of different, a lot of different type of businesses, uh, uh from a grocery stores to laundry mats. And what I noticed as I got older, and when a lot of those folks, black folks who owned those properties, and once they passed away and the grandkids took over, the son daughter took over, they sold it because they didn't want to either do the work or have to continuously check on the business and make sure things is, the maintenance is done. Some people don't want to do that. They'd rather just take the cash and go. So it's like that's what kind of, trips me out, because it's like, dang, you know what I mean? You work so hard to build all this up. You work so hard to build all this up for somebody to just come behind you and say, you know what? I don't want none of this, man. Let's sell it all. You know what I'm saying? Because they see the money. They see what they can get out of the deal. You feel me? And it's like, damn, so what was the point of me doing all of these things if you just going to turn around and sell it all, or not keep it maintained? You know what I'm saying? Losing it to taxes, losing it to, you know, not staying up to business code, you know what I'm saying? Safety code and all that. You feel me? So I just think, man, when you start, not only it's important to make money, of course, but that's not the only thing. It's not only to leave your family, money and property if you can, right? I feel like also you need to have an understanding on, and let's be honest, right? As a parent, after a while, which kids is better with finances than others, right? You feel me? And that's just the reality. We all have a special gift. And it's like, I think that also need to be discussed as well too. You know what I mean? It's like you grind hard, you put yourself in position, you got all this lined up for your folks, your kids, your wife, your husband, whoever, right? But what happens when your vision is not their vision, and when you either not able to do it anymore, or they quick to sell it, or when you no longer here and you leave these assets, you leave this property to your loved ones, and they don't see the value in it the way you did, are they wrong for selling it? Are they wrong to not want to be involved in the business in that way? You feel me? And they want to sell everything. I mean, I hate to see that, but at the same time, are they really wrong? Because remember, when you build up all these things, all these assets, these cars, this house, that was your dream. You know what I'm saying? Your wife, okay, that's one thing. But your kids, they may not have the same vision that dad had. You know what I mean? They may not have the same vision as mom had. They want to live their own life, right? You feel me? So I just feel like a lot of people don't have that type of conversation. And on top of that, they don't set up things to, have it you, like they say, when you set up a life insurance. If you haven't got one, I definitely encourage everybody set up some type of life insurance, right? You have to set up beneficiaries, the destination of your finances, who get what. You actually can split it up how you want to. You know what I'm saying? So anybody set up a life insurance, you know what I mean. You have beneficiaries, and then you can also put specific notes in there on, okay, this amount goes to this child or to this sibling, and like all of that can be delegated. So not only you should do it with life insurance, you also need to do it with property, assets, company, businesses, whatever you have to have everything, done in a legal manner. So if something do happen to you, it's already lined up, and nobody, your family, your kids, you know what I'm saying, second, third cousin, everybody trying to get a piece. You would have everything, split how you want it split, and it's all notarized and legally done. So Any judge can look at it and see that this was done, and I suggest to do it early before you get too old. You know what I'm saying? You get senile, or you know what I mean? You never know how life goes. So I encourage you to do it as soon as possible once you start getting in position. You feel me? Because I talk a lot about hustling, talking a lot about getting yourself in a certain position in life, but this is the after effect of that. Because now that you acquired all these assets, now that you done got into a certain position, okay, if something happened to you, what happened to those assets? You feel me? Come on now. So it's important for you to also line that up as well. And you can look back at your at your grandpa, at your grandmother, and look, for people in your family that have had, property and businesses and savings. You know what I'm saying? What happens to that and how does it get split up? Or do you leave it to one person and hope that they do the right thing? My From my experience, I recommend for you to split it up exactly for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Unfortunately, when people pass away, how the family or certain individuals in your family is going to act. Because I'm telling you, that money is a mother, man. That money, man. Certain people get that money, man. They act like they don't even know you no more. You know what I'm saying? They start like, oh, what? No, they said it was 100,000. No, it was only 20,000 when I seen the account. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Going in the house, taking stuff out the house is like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest anybody, once you start accumulating, especially a home, anything with a high value, you need to have some type of will established because from take it from my experience, man, you never know how certain family members in your family is going to act. You feel me? Once that money kick in, and you know, now somebody, somebody could be in their 50s and 60s talking about, man, I want to be a rapper now. Like, what? You trying to be a rapper? And you almost 60? Like, what gave you that idea? Oh, that money grandma, money grandma left us. I mean, I'm trying to be a rapper. Like, what? You feel me? You never know when people, how their mindset is. And be honest with you, like I said many videos ago, a lot of people have the mindsets already. They just didn't have the finances for them to do what they want to do. So that's why I say, man, once you start getting in position, please, I cannot tell you enough. I never tell people what to do, but I'm just saying that my recommendation, set you up a will, make sure you got life insurance, make sure you have it delegated to who get what and what the amount is. Be very specific on who you want to leave what. You feel me? Because when you no longer here, or when you not, for some reason mentally, if you're not able to do it in your later years in life, it can be a real bad situation. You feel me? And trust me, man, I have seen it personally. So I encourage anyone, you start getting paper, man, get you a will. And make sure you got life insurance. Make sure you understand, okay, if this happened to me, I know most people don't like to hear this conversation, but that's why I say this is that conversation most people are not built for. You feel me? He's going to be like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But everything you built is going down the drain because everybody fighting over everything that you left. So if it's already set up and notarized, they can be mad all they want, but you can't change nothing. You feel me? Unless somebody want to make a deal, separate from you after they get whatever they get, and that's on them, of course. But in the process of who get what and when, set that will up, man. You know what I mean? And do it the legitimate way, nothing illegal, because they won't uphold in court, or if some type of attorney or lawyer have to sign off on it. You would have legal documentation. You feel me, man? Sean B. Stoller. I'm the only one. I ain't seen nobody else on YouTube talk like this, man. That's why I always try to give y'all different game, man. You come to the Sean B. Stoller channel, I'ma lace your boots, man. You feel me? And it ain't just gossip and shock jock type conversations all day. You feel me? So if you're new to my channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but in all seriousness, right? I mean, it's like you can have a dream for yourself, you can have an idea of how things will go, but once it's in black and white, once it's in black and white, nobody can come back and change or make up things because it is what it is, right? And it's like, and on top of that, man, I just personally feel like, when you build something, unless everybody was in agreement of when you was doing it, are they wrong if they don't have the same vision that you had when you bought this house, when you had this business? Did you teach them the business? So if something later on in life, if they have to take it over, would they be willing to do that? I mean, that's something that's very important as well to need to be discussed. Because especially today era, everybody want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, want to be their own boss, which I respect. I mean, that's why I do what I do on YouTube. I got a regular job, but I also am trying to create my own thing separate from anybody that I'm employed for. You feel me? And so as you gain more success and things start cracking for you, it's important for you to also get your paperwork in order. And this is part of your paperwork. See, it ain't just getting successful in business, it's also making sure that if you not, able to do it anymore, or you want somebody to take over it, what is the stipulations? What are the terms and conditions? Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I always say that I've been saying this for over a year now. You have to have a terms and conditions in everything you do. Everything is a business. Everything is a business. You know what I'm saying? It really is. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but it really truly is, because whatever you have earned and whatever you have, built yourself up to and established, anything you pay taxes for, that has a value. It may not be valuable to a lot of people, but it's valuable to somebody. And that's all that matters. You feel me? You know? So it's like, you got to make sure that you have things set up. And it's another thing too, right? Another thing too, I look at too, is that if you, it's like, how do you want to, I'm trying to figure a way how to say this with the most respect, right? But it's like, what do you do if things change? You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got certain things set up for certain people, your kids, your family. And what if over the years things change and you like, you know what? I don't want to leave you what I was going to leave you. You don't even know what I'm leaving you. But now I think I might want to change that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the good thing. You can always go back and make corrections too. But it's like, how you could set something up, especially for your kids, when you set it up for them when they real young, and then later on in life, you like, man, I don't know if I want to leave you. I don't know if you can handle the access you would have if I leave you certain things. You know what I mean? Like, as a parent, can you really handle that? And be comfortable with that type of understanding? Because it's like, if I leave you, all this money, I know the way you are with finances, you're going to blow through all this. You feel me? You're going to blow through all this bread. So it's like, sometimes you have to modify your terms and conditions as well. You feel me? Sometimes you got to modify that thing. You feel me? Like, hold up, let me And that's why I say you want to do it as young as possible. You feel me? Once you start getting successful and starting to acquire assets, you want to establish some type of will in some type of form. And then you may have to go back and make changes once you see that you know, your loved ones, your kids, or whoever that you leaving it to, they don't have the capability of maintaining it. Because you know what I'm saying? And as a parent, I mean, that's something I know that's very hard for a parent to really accept that, that your kid ain't that bright, man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Your daughter ain't that smart. Your son, he's not focused enough. He's not dedicated enough. He's not going to have that mentality that you had. As a parent, you know what it is. You will never come out and say it, but that's a real, a real thing. You got to actually come to understanding with your own self when you thinking about that. You feel me? And so I'm telling you, man, you got to remember that. And as you grind, you have to also make sure you put certain things in place to protect you and to protect your loved ones to a degree. You feel me? So I want to appreciate y'all watching this live tonight. I just wanted to come in here and just chop up a little bit of game. I wasn't going to be on here too long, but I just wanted to come in here and really drop something on y'all. That was just kind of in the back of my mind. I just wanted to come out and have that conversation because I did a video maybe 7-8 months ago called That Difficult Conversation. So this is kind of a remix of that, but I just want to add some more sauce to it. You know what I mean? So new to my channel, I am Sean B. Stoller. All I bring to you is nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, and hopefully some type of inspiration. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. When this video is over, go back and watch that, hit that live tab. Check out a lot of different videos I have because that's all I bring to you is nothing but good game. You know what I'm saying? But in a real life situation. You feel me? So I just had to come on here and talk about it because that was just something that was just on my heart, man. And I just had to have that conversation with y'all tonight. You know what I mean? And I just think that the more people that have these type of conversations, I feel like it would help the next generation of your offspring, of your family. It's important to have these type of conversations because it's one thing to accumulate the assets, it's one thing to accumulate the finances, but you got to also figure out who you're going to delegate it to, who you're going to leave it to, what amount is going to this person, what amount is going to that person. You feel me? Like that can be a real thing, a real issue when you no longer here or if you're not mentally stable enough to in your later years in life to do it then. So I encourage anyone and everyone to set up some type of will as you accumulate assets, set up some type of legal document that can, where your family or your loved ones or whoever you plan on leaving things, where it's a clear cut and dry type thing where everybody know exactly what they're getting and that's it. You know what I mean? Because I just would hate to see anybody, myself included, where you done built up all these things. You might be living in a mansion, Lambos, everything. You feel me? And the family ain't doing nothing but fighting over everything, losing property. You know what I'm saying? The house is in foreclosure because nobody making payments. It's just, not paying the taxes. I mean, you got to make sure that's why I say, man, that's why they say more money, more problems. This is part of that problem. And more people who be proactive on situations like this. I feel like you doing it. It helps you not only with yourself, that happiness in your side inside of you to let you know that, man, at least I know if something happened to me, I know that everybody get a piece and it's already documented. So can't nobody come in and try to remix things. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be surprised. Folks be trying to pop up, trying to get stuff that you know wasn't there or, don't have no right to. So when you have some type of a will or, some type of legal document, it's very important. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all watching that live. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. And good, like I said, go back and watch a lot of my live videos, man. I drop nothing but good game and real life situations on y'all. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I just had to come in here and drop this on y'all tonight. And remember this: life is choices and decisions. Which ones are yours? Till next time, peace.